Hello everyone, it is Phoenix here and welcome back to my makeup channel. So today for you guys I have this crazy Hot Cheeto versus Takis look that I have created with the brand new Morphe 3503. This is what she looks like. Isn't she stunning? Say how stunning she is. And yeah, so if you would like to see how I created all of this madness, what my thoughts are on the palette, then just keep on damn watching. Transition. Alrighty you guys, so I already have my base done off camera, and when I say base, I mean full base, foundation, obviously powder, concealer, brows, blush, highlight. I actually didn't do bronzer. Totally forgot about that, so let me like slap some on really quick. Okay, so now you guys have already seen the intro with this look, and you've, obviously seen the title of the video, which is the entire fucking reason why you clicked on it. So today, I'm going to be reviewing the Morphe 3503. Now this is not brand new. I've had it for a couple days and I have not touched this. This is brand fucking new. None of these have been touched. Now, let me say, I did mess around with the tester in store because I was like, I couldn't help myself. But I am gonna try it out for you guys here on camera and review it for you guys for the first time. Anyway, so this palette is everything, and I'm like so excited to mess around with this. Ugh. So of course today, the majority of the brushes I'm going to be using are from the James Charles brush set, with the exception of a few face brushes that got mixed in here as well, just because I'm too lazy to take them out. And so I did my entire base off camera already, just because I really wanted this video not to be 45 minutes long. As well, I wanted to really focus and dive into the palette and have that be the main focus. Now, right off the bat, I'm noticing some weird shit. This shade right here, this shade right here has like some weird like glitter or something in it. Like, I don't know what that's about. And then this shade has like a little like white spot right here. I don't know, can you guys see that? I think so. So, like, other than that, all of these are flawless and perfect, but these two, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that, but it's making me, it's putting me in a little bit of a Jaclyn Hill kind of mindset. I really hope I hope to Jesus that's not the case. But, anyway, let's just jump right into this actual look. So here I have the sheet with the shade names, so if you ever see me like just kind of like looking around off in the distance on my vanity at something, chances are it's this. So I'm gonna take this first color, Temptin', which is this beautiful kind of peachy orange transition shade. That's really blown out, hold on. It's not gonna be in focus, but I can at least get the color right. So that right there is this really beautiful peachy transition shade. So, let's go in the crease with that. So I'm gonna take that Temptin' color on a Morphe M510. This is already like stained with a color that's like really similar from the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette, so I'm not really too concerned about it being like ultra clean. And I'm just gonna take that color, ooh. Okay, so there's almost like no kickback in the pan. There's very, very little, and the brush has full fucking pigment on it. Fallout, not too bad, pretty average, I would say. Let's see if it has color on the lid. Oh wow. Okay, so I can't lie. I expected a bit more pigment from a Morphe shadow, but also I didn't knock most of that pigment off when I was getting rid of fallout. And that's just kind of something that happens, you know, as you knock fallout, so to speak, off the brush, you're also knocking off some of the pigment that you're planning to put on your eye. So next I'm gonna take a 456 in that same Temptin' color, and I'm gonna just kind of like use this smaller brush, since it's a bit more of a packing brush, to really get that wing shape out here. And then obviously it's not super, if it's a little patchy right here towards your actual crease and like your up here crease, If it's a little patchy towards like where your lid actually folds into your head, it's not super important because you're gonna layer other colors over that, obviously. If this were the only color you were doing, I would say yes, make sure it's blended. And then I'm gonna take a Morphe, I think it's 441, yep. And I'm gonna use that to just concentrate a little bit more of that right here. But I'm using this brush as opposed to the 456 because I still want it to be soft and blended and coiffed. Now if my skin looks a little rough, let me apologize in advance for any like sandpapery looking bits. I had to do my base 3 fucking times today, which means I also exfoliated my face 3 times, and this was as good as it was gonna get. I like sat down this time, I sat down this 3rd time to do my base, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this shit again. If it doesn't come out right, it doesn't come out right. Don't you just love how there's like a giant pimple in the center of my forehead? So I'm thinking this palette's kind of speaking to me in a couple different ways, and I don't really know which way I'm wanting to do the most. This palette just speaks to me like 4 main different ways. There's like the brownie kind of like neutral colors, and then it speaks to me in like orange, like, you know, warm tones, and then it speaks to me in like bright screaming red tones, and it also speaks to me in like darker burgundy tones. But the problem is I only have 2 eyes, so I can only do 2 different looks. So I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Let me just like focus on getting this one done first before I worry about any of that. So I'm gonna take that Temptin color again on that 441, and I'm just gonna extend it up a little bit towards the inner corner. God, what color do I want to take next? Let's just take the one just to the right of it, which is called Flame Game. And I'm going to take that on an M441, the same one from before. Kickback, fallout levels, about exactly the same as that Temptin color. And I'm just going to use this just to build a little bit of orangey definition in the crease. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Okay, and so as you can see, that just kind of blends it out into this nice orange, like bright orange crease. Took it from a nice soft orange to a real bright orange. And then I'm going to take this kind of peachy almost, I mean, it's still very like, it's neon freaking orange, but it's kind of got subtle pink undertones to it. And that one is called Explode. Fun. And so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this because I'm not sure how pigmented this would be if I were to just like go ham with it. And it's easier to add than take away. So let's just add very slowly. Now this one does have a bit more kickback in the pan, but that's okay. It's one of the brighter colors. Obviously, when you're manufacturing super bright colors like this, a lot of times you have to put more pigment in them for them to show up, which means you are forced by chemical and physical standpoints to use less binders and less fillers. So it's not gonna stay together as well in the pan, which means slightly more kickback. All the good girls go to hell, 'cause even God herself has an... Okay, so now we have this super blown out orange, smoked the fuck out crease. And I'm gonna take that M456 once again, and I'm gonna dip into a red tone with, actually, I was thinking about doing the one with pink undertones, like a very neon magenta red, but I'm gonna do the more neutral, like pure red, which is called Red Alert. It's very reminiscent of You're Kidding from the James palette. Kickback in the pan, flawless, practically nothing. Fallout, not much. Pigment though, actually pretty good. Not doing too bad. And so I'm just kind of packing this on the outer corner, outer V area. And I'm blending that into that orange color that we just laid down. What was that one called? Explode? Yeah, that one. This is the thing. You see me taking, you know, like 20 colors to get like this perfect, flawless, seamless blend, and like, that's what you have to do. Everyone's always like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do eyeshadow like you know, I wish I could do makeup like that, and it's like, no, you just wish it was easy. You can do makeup like this, but it's not easy. Never has been, never will be. Despite what some of you may think, makeup is not easy for me. It's not like a second nature. That's not how it works. It's a skill, you know, you constantly have to use it and develop it, or you altogether lose the ability. And again, to what I said like 2 seconds ago, you can do makeup like this. It's not that you wish you could do makeup like this, you can. You just wish it was easy. The problem is it's not. Not even for me, not even for celebrity makeup artists. Makeup is hard, it is work, and that is why it's very expensive to get your makeup done. It's a lot of work. It's also kind of like a tattoo. You're paying the makeup artist to put their art, their vision onto you. So, and I'm just really making sure, flawless blends. Now we get to delve into our darker, deepening, like, actual shading colors. So I'm gonna take the same. So next I'm gonna take this gorgeous, super, super dark maroon color, which is, what the fuck is this called? Which is called Warning Label. Ooh, love that name though. That's actually really cool. I'm gonna use that and pack right on that outer lash line and on the very most outer portions of the crease. God damn, I'm actually very impressed with the pigmentation of this palette so far. I really am. It's holding up very well to my impossible standards and expectations, so I'm very happy about that. This palette is doing very well so far. Now, I don't normally take eyeshadow so high up to the point where it is now going past my brow, but it's like a super bright neon red palette, and I want to have fun with it. So you know what? If I want to do more of an editorial look like this, you bet your ass damn well that I'm gonna. So, eat it. Next, I'm gonna take this, what looks like a frosted kind of peachy, a lighter peachy orange shade, and it's just called Embers. And so I'm gonna take that on a 124. Let me change my camera battery real quick and I'll be right back. Number one fucking rule of being a photographer, videographer, YouTuber, whatever you wanna call it, always have more than one battery so you don't have to wait for it to charge. Anyway, so I did wet that shadow and it looks gorgeous now. It looks metallic and lively. Really does kind of remind me of the color of embers in a fire pit, so. But again, if you've seen my, rude. If you've seen my review on the Morphe X Jeffree palette, you know my thoughts on having to wet shadow for them to do what they're supposed to do. Fucking annoyed. But, you know, I just feel like nowadays we are too reliant on using our fingers or using shadows wet, or like all these ailments that we should not have to be using for shadows to perform how they're supposed to perform in the first place. And then I'm just gonna gradually start to blend that onto those red and orange colors out towards the outer corner. And y'all know this is my lazy cut crease is what I like to call it, where I just do a half cut crease and I just cut it with a metallic shadow as opposed to actually using like concealer and then carving it and then, you know, putting a shadow over it. It's my favorite style of eye look because it's easy. And next I'm going to take this super pretty maroon frosted shade that looks like the pearls in it have like gold reflex to it. And that color is called Hot Contents. I love that name too, that's cute. And I'm gonna start to blend that frosted orange with that matte on the outer corner. And I'm taking this one dry because I don't want it to look super metallic, like the orange. I want it to kind of be more of a satin finish in between that metallic orange and the matte red. So already, this is super pretty. It's very different for me because I don't usually do orange. If I'm gonna do a red look, I usually commit to it and it's a red fucking look. But this is a little bit different with this orange. I don't mind it. I have been loving going outside of my comfort zone lately for whatever reason. So, here we are. Would you guys want like an in-depth tutorial, like, I don't know, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes long on literally just like how to do eyeshadow? Because that's like the #1 thing I get asked about is like, oh my god, your eyeshadow looks amazing, like, you know, whatever. Now I'm gonna take, I think, an M152, which is this little short fluffy guy. It's not super dense, and so it just works really well for the lower lash line. And I'm gonna take that dark matte cranberry color I used earlier called Warning Label. I'm gonna take that on this brush, and I'm just gonna start to pack it on the lower lash line. This shade I am extremely disappointed in. It's just really not like sticking. A lot of the pigment just kind of brushes away when I go to blend it. Yeah, so I'm having to even wet the matte shadow, this color specifically, Warning Label, just to get this one to like stick to my lower lash line, which is fucking ridiculous. I should not have to do that at all. And then I'm just gonna use it to just lightly feather out the edges so it's not quite so harsh. See, like, it was dark. It was that dark berry color, and now all that pigment just like fucking wiped away. Okay, you guys, so that is one eye all complete. I'm trying to think about what I want to do next, and I'm not sure, because I don't want to do the same eye look on both sides, obviously. Same with the Morphe x Jeffree review. I want to tackle 2 different eye looks so I can use a really wide scope of colors and formulas in this palette. So I'm thinking the other side, I want to do something kind of similar, but a bit darker, a bit more cranberry and not quite so bright red. As well, on the lower lash line, I want to dip into that green color, which is called Come Alive. So let's do it all, basically do it all again. So I'm gonna take I'm gonna take a slightly clean 441, and I'm going to dip into a super bright color for a transition shade. This next move is not for beginners. I'm going to dip... Shut up! I'm going to dip into the super bright magenta pink toned red called Unstoppable. And this is gonna be our transition shade. So it's kind of like the Morphe x Jeffree review. This is like a real crazy move. Definitely not for beginners. Unless you really know what you're doing when it comes to eyeshadow, this is not a smart move. So I'm just using this at first very sparingly, just to get a good blend. And then I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild brush. God, I don't remember what this brush is called, but you can see it's kind of a fluffy brush. It's fairly dense. I want to say it's like the Precision or like the Pro Crease brush or something like that. I really don't remember what it's called, but like that's my best guess. Just feathering that out, and then I'm going to take this 456 again with that pigment on it. I'm not taking any additional, just whatever's left over in it. And I'm stamping up. Do you see how I'm bending the fibers of the brush? I'm stamping up. And that way you just get a really nice blend on this outer corner without having to go in with a million different colors. And then I like to do that right in here too, right above like the center of my eye, where my iris usually sits. Because my eye and like brow shape, when I have my brow muscles relaxed, a lot of that shadow right there gets covered. So I usually have to blend it extra high. just to make sure that it shows up. I know this is about the 3503, but I have to take glucose from blood sugar. I'm like too pale for that color. And I'm just packing this on my brow bone to kind of knock that red down and eat away at it a little bit so I can have the blends match as far as height goes. It's a really helpful trick if you feel like your blend is ever too harsh or too high, whatever. Just take a shade that either matches your skin tone or is slightly lighter, and see, now they both come down to the same spot. Okay, so now that we have that Unstoppable color blended all the way, like super blown out, super smoky, just like the other side, we get to delve into our darker colors just like before. And so I'm going to take that warning label color, that really dark matte maroon that we used on the lower lash line on this side. I'm going to use that to start to deepen this look up. So I'm going to take In Command, which is very similar to that warning label color, but it's a little bit darker, a little bit more purple base, not quite so red, and it has little itty bitty teeny tiny flecks of pink and purple glitter in it. So, and when I swatched it in store, that glitter did actually stay, which is so cool. Because usually with shades like that, where it's like, you know, a light hint of glitter, it almost always disappears. And of course, it disappeared. It's okay though. Using a brush and swatching it with fingers are two completely different situations. To be honest, I didn't really expect it to stay with a brush, but it's okay. It's alright, it happens. And then I'm gonna dip into the color right next to it a little bit as well, which is called Hypnotic. It's like the darkest possible, like the darkest maroon imaginable. It's so close to black, but it's just not black. You know, there's a slight purpley red undertone to it. And I'm gonna use that to really deepen up this outer crease and such. Okay, that's very cranberry. It's very cranberry, which is, you know, like exactly what I wanted. So we're on the right track. Wah! I don't know why I just did that. I'm a literal crackhead. Fun fact. So next, ooh, that's calling my name. What color is that? Full Blast. Ooh, I'm gonna take that and I'm going to, literally, you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm going to take that Full Blast color and do the same thing. Do my lazy cut crease. I'm sorry, okay? I really need to like figure out how to do a different kind of eye look. Ah! It's fine, everything's fine. Everything is fine. So I'm gonna take that M124, once again, same one I did with this side. It's pretty much kind of sort of clean. And then I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. A little bit of moisture, dip into that pan, wet it once again, and we're going to cut the crease in a very lazy manner. And then just very slowly start to blend it towards the outer corner. And then taking just a bit more of that In Command color and packing it and starting to blend that frosted shade down into a matte. And I might even take a little bit of that color. What is that one called? Inferno. I might use a little bit of that to blend it with that In Command color. Okay, so I don't know what's up with that Inferno color, but do y'all see this fallout? Do y'all see this shit? Do y'all see this shit? Now I'm scared because this is a lot of fallout. I can usually handle like a little bit, you know, because that's normal, but this is like so much. I'm worried that this is gonna smear. Okay, so now that we have that done, I'm going to take that little mini M152 again, wherever it went, if I can find it. I'm gonna take the bright neon green from this palette, which is called Come Alive. This color definitely makes me want to come alive, like, ooh, this brings out my inner Spooktober, bitch. And again, I'm gonna start, you're kidding me. The amount of pigment, are y'all seeing that shit? What? Do y'all see that pigmentation? Oh my god, let me bump this down a little bit. Do y'all see that? What the fuck? Although I am kind of running into the same problem I had with that color on this lower lash line, and I'm running into the same problem I had with that green Nate color from the Jeffree palette. It's just not really sticking, which is like, I don't know what's happened, but it feels like recently Morphe's changed their shadows a lot. Cause see, when I start to blend, as opposed to packing, it literally like completely fucking disappeared. Like it should look this pigmented right off the bat. You know, I should not have to use setting spray and make it sticky to get it to look like that. I'm just now realizing this is very like Hot Cheetos versus Takis. That's an Instagram caption right there. That's what that is. But you know, like a bag of Takis, like, you know, you see what I mean? Like this, the lime and the dark red, and then Hot Cheetos are like a vibrant orangish red. Like, I played my damn self. Are you kidding me? That's so funny though. And then I'm gonna take this kind of brownish maroon color, which is called Ignition. And I'm gonna take that on that mini M152, and I'm gonna use that to kind of blend this brown. I'm gonna use that to kind of blend this green and red together. That's like, that's as good as that blend is gonna get. I mean, honestly, y'all. Okay, let me throw on some liner, some lashes. Oh, actually no, before I do that, I do kind of want to take this pressed glitter and just put a little bit on this orange color over here. Just to see if that adds any kind of like life to this look. That's not sticking at all. Okay, great. Wow, love that. I mean, it's there. I don't know that it's adding any kind of like magical shit to this look. It just looks pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit more glitzy and not quite like frosted, if that makes sense. Obviously, as you can see, this eyeshadow is fucking so good. Like, it's so bomb, but it's just not what I'm like used to per se. Like, I normally expect a lot more than this from Morphe. I don't know. We'll see what happens though. Since this is a palette review, I'm going to throw on my eyeliner, lashes, all that stuff off camera. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. All fucking alrighty, you guys. Winged liner, lashes, a dark vampy purple lip. For those of you wondering, this is the NYX Cosmetics Stick Suede Lipstick in the shade Subversive Socialite. Paired with, of course, the matching lip liner. And then my lashes are the Eylure x Nicole Guerrero collection, and I believe these are in the style Define. That's what it says down here, so I'm just gonna take a stab at it. And then my liner is the e.l.f. H2O proof waterproof eyeliner. Snatched, bitch. Alrighty, you guys, let's delve into my thoughts really quick. Now, I did swatch this shade in store, this metallic green, which is called Power Play, and it wasn't my favorite. I did expect a bit more from it. It was just a little bit chalky, not chalky. It was very soft and buttery, but it wasn't super metallic. I expected it to be more metallic, and it wasn't metallic. I wouldn't even really call it a frosted finish. It was just kind of like satin. So I was not in love with that one. Other than that, pretty much every color in here I'm in love with. Now, I didn't really get a chance to try out some of the browns or some of these like ashy, like gray kind of brown colors, but I think, you know, those are a bit more safe. Those are a bit more on the safe side, you know. It's kind of hard to fuck those up. When it comes to really bright colors, there's a lot that can go wrong very quickly. But speaking from my looks and what I've tried of the formulas today, they're really good. Do I think the 3503 is an absolute necessity? No, I think you could find a lot of the shades that are in here in other palettes, potentially even single shadows over certain brands. I don't know what brands that would be. But personally, for me, this is an absolute necessity. I love red eyeshadow. It's my favorite color to do. This is very similar to the look I did the other day with the Jeffree palette, except since this is a bit more red, not quite so pink, this look is a bit more watermelon and a little bit less strawberry. But nonetheless, here we are. This is the look that I have created, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Some of the shades, you know, they're great. Others, you have to pack. You can't really blend, otherwise you lose a lot of that pigmentation. And I feel like that happens a lot nowadays. It really should not be happening, obviously. But it's just a common recurring theme that I've noticed with Morphe lately. So I don't know, maybe their formula's going downhill. I hope not. I really love Morphe. Again, I've used them for the past 3, 4, going on 5 years now. They're consistently one of my favorite brands when it comes to formula quality for price. Anyway, enough rambling. If you like this palette, if you enjoy this color story, go out and grab it. Morphe palettes are not expensive. $25 for this guy. The packaging is really nice. I really love all of the graphics and the details. The unit carton looks the same as the palette. But usually their palettes are just a plain, soft touch, matte black cardboard. I really appreciate that this time they put some metallic decals and like detailing on it, as well as just the overall design when it comes to the graphics on the front. So I think they really stepped it up in terms of that. Also the smaller details, the palette has some orange piping around the edges. That's also something that's very cool. It's very aesthetically well put together. This is a very just aesthetically incredible palette. Some of the key notes that I would say to Morphe is just make sure you're not relying on a tacky base or using setting spray to get a shimmer or metallic frosted, whatever you want to call it, to perform how it's supposed to. I should not have to use a crutch to get it to do what it's supposed to do in the first place. I know I sound like a broken record. I said it for the Jeffree X Morphe palette as well, but it's because it's a recurring theme. So other than that, I do really like this palette. Considering it's a lot of reds, I think I will reach for this one and Blood Sugar quite often, actually. This Morphe 3503 though, getting back on track, the 3503 is Phoenix MUA approved. I do enjoy this palette. I don't wear eyeshadow too often nowadays. I don't, you know, working my day job, I don't always have a lot of time to sit down and film YouTube videos. So I don't usually wear makeup very often, but on the days that I do, I think I'll reach for this because I can pretty much do anything that personally is in my expertise and my color knowledge range. I can pretty much do anything that I want with this palette because this has colors, even the browns sometimes, that I will use like on a daily basis if I just want something super soft, super easy, like 5-minute eyeshadow, gone, you know, get out the door. I'm a busy woman going about my day making that coin. I'm not getting enough hours at work, but that's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. That is a wrap on this palette, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please leave a like below. Please leave a like down below if you enjoyed watching this review. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the looks that I created. Let me know what you want to see next from me. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys. Done. Oh wait, thumbnail. Ooh.